Hello, this is Walter Smith and back again with a bit of Walter's Glass Half Full. Now we're here to inject a bit of positivity into those negative Nellies on YouTube this week who are trying to do down City. Without further ado, first comment. Skinny, high-flying big show. Wiltshire wouldn't leave Arsenal unless you offered him triple Ronaldo's wages. Lol. The guy loves Arsenal through and through. Just ask Spurs how much he loves Arsenal. I presume he loves Arsenal the same way Nasri loved Arsenal, the same way Clichy loved Arsenal, the same way Kolo Touré loved Arsenal, and the same way that Adebayor loved Arsenal. Arsenal fans need to actually realise that there's a new sheriff in town, its name's Manchester City. I know the entitlement, Arsenal fans won't actually like that, but Arsenal now are a selling club. There was talk of Jack Wilshere who's been slightly rude about the Tottenham fans. That somehow shows his love for Arsenal. Now I seem to remember Tevez doing exactly the same for us United fans. And he soon left, didn't he? One of the things that Arsenal fans often throw at Manchester City is, we just bought the title. And Arsenal do things the proper way. I wouldn't like my club to turn out like Arsenal. Arsenal have the most expensive season tickets in world football. Think about that. Arsenal are the only team I can think of. We're talking about buying things that actually bought a place in the top division. So for them to slander Manchester City as a football club, a bit far. Arsenal fans should also think about looking back to the early 90s and looking at a fellow called Danny Fisman, who actually invested a load of money into Arsenal at the time, which allowed them to buy David Platt, which allowed them to buy Dennis Bergkamp. I didn't hear Arsenal fans moaning at the time that they were getting these quality players, so why should City fans moan now? Michael Day, if we put a bid in for that overrated, overhyped Jack Wilshere, I will lose faith in the Manchester City board. Ho, ho, ho. Now that's a big statement, pal. Carlsberg don't do football owners, but if they did, I'm relaxed and I'm feeling positive about this transfer window that City are in at the moment. If you look at our owner's record, they're going to leave us with a better squad than we had last year. They've done it every year. And I'm also thinking about getting a little bit giddy. They could leave us with the best squad we've ever had. One of the problems that this board's facing at the moment is we're dining at the top table. We're going for top players, to quote Harry Redknapp. And with those top players, big competition for those top players as well. You've got big traditional clubs. There's no embarrassment about losing a player. For example, Real Madrid when they signed Isco. We've been disappointed in the past, for example, when Hazard signed for Chelsea. For you to say that we've actually lost faith in the board because they're going to try and buy a player, you need to think about where we've come as a club. You need to think where we've come as a fan base. It's a long road, but City are well on it. This week's Troll of the Week has got to go to Dominic Riley. Talk about United's talk about bidding for Aguero. I actually went to the bookies on the way down here. And I tried to say to them, I says, what's the odds on Aguero going to Manchester United? And he said they didn't do ridiculous bets like that. Now, it was a high street bookie, so I'm sure you can find somewhere online that will take your bet and earn you a lot of money, in the famous words of Cilla Black. Now, the origins of that story actually came from an ex-Manchester United player. Is it Andy? Is it Andrew Cole? He's obviously going to tell a Manchester United angle on it. Now, he's also saying that he thinks United should go out and actually sign Aguero. When I was a teenage kid, I often wanted to go out with Cameron Diaz. Neither's going to happen, to be fair. He mentioned a figure of 60 million quid. Now, I don't know which foot he wanted to buy for 60 million quid, but you're not going to get Aguero for 60 million quid. When United should have bought Aguero was back in about 2010, 2011, when we picked him up for £38.5 million. Now, I was quite happy with that. Ferguson said there was no value in the market. The man was wrong that year. What I did love about the speculation, though, was the fact that, and let's get it right, a player of that quality is always going to attract speculation, is the fact that he's turned round and said how much he loves his time at City and he's hungry for more. He says he wants to win the Champions League with City. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10 in giddiness, that makes me about 13, possibly 14. There is going to come the day that Aguero is actually going to leave Manchester City, but he's given us his best years. For me, you can't ask any more than that of a player. So, pal, if you want to earn yourself a ton of cash, try and get some life savings, get yourself down the bookies, place a bet on Aguero going to United. It ain't happening, not in my lifetime. Well, that about sums up another week of Walter's Glass Half Full. Now, if you've enjoyed it, give it a like. If you want to get me to get back to you, leave a comment. Oh, time for another.
This is Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Subscribe to Blue Moon Rising TV for a knockout time.